Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the FV207. It's the Tier 8 British SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Mines and it's under the command of Deathnub. Now this little Arty is actually based on the Conqueror, the A45, and there's two guns you can have, either the 5.5 inch, which is the same as Crusader, or the 6-inch gun, which is, well, 6 inches. It's 152 millimeters in caliber. Okay, game's on. It was originally planned that this Arty was going to be mounted with the 105 millimeter, the FV207, but during blueprints the 105 millimeter was dropped, and in fact they dropped the entire project altogether after a while. Now I think those shots fired there were from the enemy. From this position you can get great shots on the south approach to the hill. Okay, we've got an E75TS, puts a round into the rear of him for 205, good first shot. He's stunning multiple tanks at the same time, and of course the trick here is to stun as many of them as you can, because if you're going to get a good result you want a lot of stun assist. The standard reload is 28.76 with this gun, and he's got 24.24. He's actually mounting, oh god, double bubble there, he hit the LIS and the E75. He's mounted the 6-inch howitzer, there you go, it says 152.4, because that's 6 inches in metric. 650 alpha, 38mm of pen, and shell velocity of 480 meters per second, so it's fairly slow. But it does have a burst radius of 7.6 meters. Rounds out the E75. Oh, he almost kills him. He gets a low roll on a non-pen, and he would have killed him otherwise. He would have put him out of the game. Unfortunately, we lost our T103. He was just a little too careless, and the E75TS took him out of the game. The E75 is pulling back because he knows he's in danger. And it looks like the LIS is coming up. Direct hit on the LIS. No explosion, so we know we touched him. There's two tanks now making up the south approach. The E75 came back, and unfortunately that was fatal for him. Now we've just got the CS52 LIS. Tier 8 premium Polish medium. He's almost loaded. Round about there. Oh, no, he moved forward. Interesting. Get him on his pull back. Oh, went into the rock face. The rock in the center claimed that shell. Just too flat a trajectory, I'm afraid. The shells are coming in nearly horizontal. Not horizontal, but they're on the down approach. And they're hitting the sides of the vehicle rather than the tops. It's because Wargaming mucked around with the trajectories after the RT nerf, and they made the trajectories much lower, and he got a direct hit on the LIS that time. Now he might want to address and look to the south, because there's a Barask trying to get onto the South Island. Oh, well, one of them just got killed, but the other one's still there. In fact, the enemy's got a LIS and another tank over there, which I can't make out. Not quite sure who that one is. Could be the Indian Panther. Yes, it is the Indian Panther. It's all even at the moment, so everything to play for. Oh, there's an enemy brass. There's a lot of brass playing today. This is a recent game sent in to me by Deathnub. He was quite happy with the replays we did for him in the videos that he had recently, including his third mark on the SU-122A. Okay, he's gonna have a quick reposition, I think. This position is a little well, restrictive, because there's a rock nearby which actually restricts your field of fire. And oh, now he's got this Progetto who's just died, so he can't get any damage on that guy now. But he might be able to get hits on that Barask and also on that 50TP. Oh, it's actually, there's the Barask. Well, he actually landed that one right next door to the Barask, but it still did a huge amount of damage, 139. Well, not a huge amount of damage at tier 8. This is a tier 8 game, by the way. Looking around for another target. It's at times like these when we run short of targets, I look to do counter battery because there is an enemy Arty. It's an M40, M43, and there's a fairly good chance that he'll be down in the southeast corner of the map. And a few rounds placed in his direction might actually wake him up and stop him from shooting at our teammates, and actually try to force him to have a go at us instead. Okay, enemy Progetto getting plastered. Grabs out. Landed near him, stunned him. 21 hit points. We might pick up some stun assist off this one if our teammates can get shots. That looks like they can't. Always try and hit targets where you know that there's a good chance of getting stun assist. Now he did knock those things over, which might actually give the enemy Arty a clue where he is, but okay, he's now addressing those tanks down in the south. This is a good idea because these guys are going to get fired on, and he's going to get some stun assist. Rounds out. Direct hit on both of them. In fact, he splashed the Indian Panzer. Direct hit on the list. Unfortunately, we lost the Progetto, but he did get some stun assist off the list. And he is now a one-shot, or a splash kill actually. If we can land a shell near him, he's out the game. The Indian Panzer's still in the game though. Don't think we can get a shot on him just yet. If he pokes his head around the corner, we might be able to. Well, he did. And that was a very, very difficult shot, because certainly the front of the vehicle showing, but he still hit him for 230. So far he's racked up 1,300 actual damage, 756 stun assist. He needs to increase those totals, and right in the middle of the castle, the enemy 50 TP just got wiped out. There's a Brask, or was a Progetto rather, running away, not Brask. The enemy appears to have lost all their Brasks now. They've only got 6 tanks left, but so have our team. But we seem to have the positions on the map. Now, our teammates probably don't want to go to the south edge of the castle area because it looks like there's a list in proximity down there. Oh, he got a blind kill on the Scorpion. He worked out where the Scorpion was, put a round in there and killed him. Now, if only he can kill this Indian Panzer, it'd be difficult. But if he could, that will release the T-34-3, who's also the target of the enemy Arty. Just took a round from the M40, M43. Well, that may have been close enough to get a stun, but it didn't do any damage. That's it. Looking on the overhead view sometimes does help to tell us where the shell will likely land. It's a very difficult shot, that one. The Canonian Jagdpanzer on our team is still sitting up near the cap area, and he should really be coming down to help. We do have an advantage now that Scorpion's gone. But you can see that Liss is on the south end of the castle rock, which means that he's proxy spotting anybody who comes close enough to the edge. Now he's looking for the enemy Arty. Trying a blind shot in there. He might want to reposition though, because the enemy Arty might work out where he is. Well, now we know where the enemy Arty is. He's right at the back of the map there on that corner, but he'll probably relocate after that shot. So we'll get to find out if he's moved. And if he hasn't, he's going to take another round. Here we go. Rounds out. Long flight time. And he got him with a one-shot kill, so that's 2 blind kills now. And that's changed the battle altogether, because now there's only 4 enemies left. That enemy Arty didn't move, and you must move at least occasionally during a battle. If you don't, you are likely to get taken out, especially if you're inhabiting a well-known spot. Okay, we've got the list. We're loaded, but he's pulling back. We need to work out where to put the shell. That's about right. That's out. Direct hit. 214. That's bound to hurt. Okay, our Barask is trying to line up a shot on him. He gets one in. 105mm round hits him, and now the Progetto's come into play, and he's virtually full health. And unfortunately, he takes out our Barask. And that claims the castle grounds, but the list is a one-shot. Jabs out. Oh, zips past his engine. And unfortunately, that's given him position now on our T-34-3. And it's not so good with that Progetto being in the castle grounds, because that means he can assist that list to attack the T-34-3. So the T-34-3 won't be able to stay there for much longer, but we might be able to help him. Grabs out. Oh, zips over the top of his turret. He's marked the turret to say hit that, but, or rather the T-34-3 has, and we've just lost another tank, a Hawk 30, so we're down to 3 each now. And the enemy does have position, but we need to take out that list. We've reassessed the position. Will he go for it? It's another 37 hit points from a splash, but T-34-3 is taking the advantage, and that's more stun assist. Now we need to get rid of that Progetto in the castle grounds, and then they've only got the Indian Panther left. There's the Progettos trying to block entrance to the castle grounds. Now, we could certainly prevent him doing that if we can get shots on him, but we need to see where he is, and the T-34-3 has decided to go into a position where he can proxy spot the Progetto if he comes around this end. So pre-aim on this side of the hill, that's it. And let's hope the T-34-3, well, he can't spot him now unless of course he sees him, because he's pulled away from that spot. That was a blind shot. Okay, well the Indian Panzer's going to be coming up from the south, I think, because the Canadian Jagdpanzer will spot him the moment he does come up that way. He was the one who took out the Hawk 30. But we're now hoping that we get shots on that Progetto when he comes up this end to see where our guys are. Now, which side do you think he'll come out? I think that's probably about the right side. That's where he would look. Trying blind shots. The Indian Panzer has come up on the South Island, or the middle island, and unfortunately that rock is really getting in the way. But there's no enemy Arty to worry about now, so we can't be taken out by the enemy Arty. The only worry, of course, is the Progetto might see us, and the Progetto has now been spotted. So, and he's been taken out. So now this is the last enemy alive, the Indian Panzer. Direct hit right on top of him. It looks like it went right into his front. Now the T-34-3 should drive over there, see if he can either spot him or get proximity spot just by sitting the other side of the rock in the water at the edge. That would be enough. But he wants to get the kill. He's not there. He's pulled back. Okay, now wing him. Wing him. And he wings him. 79 hit points. He's stunned. He's slow. And he's taking fire, so Deathnub is getting stun assist. He's already up to 1,285 of that, and 1,600 of actual damage, and now the Indian Panzer's hiding behind the rock. But he can't cover both sides, so Indian Panzer's going to try and put a round in. Oh! The Indian Panzer just took out our T-34-3, but he pulls back. He's probably wary of an RT round hitting him, so he's gone to the centre of the rock. I'd cover the other side now, because I think he's probably going to use that bush to see if anyone comes close. Yep, Deathnub's doing that. He's covering the bush. And our last teammate, the Canadian Jagdpanzer, who's been sitting on the rock or the plateau overlooking the cap for so long, not doing anything. Mind you, he has lost a lot of hit points, and he didn't find the Indian Panzer, who's withdrawn. So he pulled away after he went behind the rock. We're in the last minute of the game, and there's the Indian Panzer. He's right down at the south. So he did retreat. Now, can we get a shot on him? He's trying to engage the Canadian Jagdpanzer. Let's hope the Canadian Jagdpanzer, who's very low on health, doesn't make a silly mistake. They're both low on health. Now, can he get a shot from this angle? He's trying to get an angle so he can shoot at the Indian Panzer. Line him up. He's still spotted. Get ready. Now! Yes! Wins the game! Perfect! Arty wins. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first ace tanker game for Deathnub in the FV207. You can tell it's his first ace because he got the scrolls underneath. You only get that the first time, so very well done on getting your first ace tanker. Won't be your last. He's got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 13 in that one, and he got a Confederate because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate was 5,125, which is Super Unicum standard and a bit more. So let's have a look at team score and see where he stands. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. The Indian Panzer he killed right at the end of the game, he got a high caliber for 4,287 hit points. The second highest damage was Deathnub with 2,968, and the third highest damage in the game turned out to be the M40-M43 on the enemy team, who's doing rather well with 2,932. When it came to kills, it was a shared... Well, no, it's not shared, actually. The Brask on our team managed to get 4 kills. But shared second place was Deathnub, who had 3. The Indian Panzer had 3. The M40-M43 on the enemy team had 3 as well. And when it came to base XP, it's Deathnub. Yes, because of all that stun assist, that really did help. 1,084, he's the only one to get over 1,000. 976 went to the Brask, and 953 went to the T-34-3. He fired 25 rounds of 6-inch ammunition, got 12 direct hits on the enemy and 1 penetration. Now, I'd be fascinated to find which tank he actually penetrated in that game. It was probably one of the ones that... no, it wasn't the ones I would expect. Oh, it was the Arty, yes. The blind shot on the Arty. It was bang on target, went straight through him and finished him off. So that was the one he blind shot killed and got a pen. 22 splashes on the enemy as well, 2,968 hit points of damage, and all of it was done at more than 300 meters. He damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 3, did 1,285 hit points of stun assist of 20 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he earned 32,839 credits, and after ammunition, resupply and consumables, he actually came away with a loss, 7,661 credits. But he would have made a profit if he'd had a premium account, 8,759, 1,084 base XP, no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. But he did take away an ace tanker, a first ace tanker, and I'm sure his team were very pleased that he got that last kill, because it did really stop that Indian Panzer from dominating, because after all, he did get the high caliber. He was getting a lot of damage, and towards the end it looked to me that Canona Jagdpanzer was in danger of being wiped out by the Indian Panzer, and then the Indian Panzer would have come for Deathnub or tried to get him. Probably Deathnub would have fought him off, but I think the Indian Panzer probably would have had the advantage with that 90mm gun and a faster reload. So let's have a look at the armor profile for the FV207. Okay, it's based on the Conqueror. Remember, it's a Conqueror in reverse because the engine's at the front and the casement is where the turret would normally be on a Conqueror tank, or the front of the vehicle. You can see at the front the armor is 38mm. You can see here 38.1 actually, but it's coming up as 39. It's very slab-sided, but the engine does protect the crew to some extent. Lower plate is 20mm thick, comes out at 42 because there's a slight incline. The engine deck is very thin, 17mm thick, so yes, any shell landing on top is probably going to pen. If you look at the sides of the vehicle, we can see there's some side armor here, some side skirts. And the side skirt's 6mm, but there's also 25mm of other spaced armor and 50.8 on the sides of the vehicle. So quite a lot of armor actually on the sides of the vehicle, down to those that spaced armor. The casement is only 50.8 all around to stop bullets and shell splinters. And works out, well, fairly thick actually, 50mm or 5cm of armor. Same all the way round, and again, the top of the tank, 17 millimeters. If you can land a shell on top of an FV207, it's probably going to go straight through. So that's the armor profile. Let's have a look at modules. Okay, here's the module profile. We can see engine up front, transmission directly in front of that, 2 fuel tanks either side of the engine, kind of wrapped around the engine, you might say. The driver is sitting actually in the casement, and right next door to him is one of the gunners. There's 2 gunners. There's 2 loaders. We can see those. One of those on the left-hand side. The other loader is right at the back. We've got the tank commander is on the left-hand side of the gun, and he's got a little viewport there. But the main viewport is actually for the gunners, not for the commander. Normally it's the other way around, but of course in an Arty, it's the tank commanders taking information from the radio, which is located here, and then telling the gunners where he wants to lay the shell. The ammo racks are on both sides of the tank at the rear, as you'd expect on an Arty. So if you put a shell through the rear of the vehicle, it's more than likely going to hit the ammo racks. And there's no deep ammo rack store. It's just in a very obvious position in the casemate, so that's where you need to aim if you want to take that down. If you aim from the front onto the right hand side of the gun with a tank shell, you're more likely going to take out both gunners with one shot. If you aim the other side, you'll take out the tank commander and one of the loaders. And I don't think you're actually going to hit the other loader unless, of course, you get behind one of these and shoot it in the rear. But there you go, that's where everything is on the FV207. So I hope you enjoyed that game. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And we've got good news from Google. Yes, they are actually paying us for the months of the end of February and March, which means that we will be making a contribution to the Red Cross Ukraine appeal very shortly and sending them another donation. And we will post that on the What Arty Noobs Facebook page to let everyone know that the money's gone off and to prove that that's the amount that Google sent in. It may have been an administrative error that they classified our channel as profiteering from the war. We're not profiteering from the war, not in the slightest. We're posting games replays, and these games replays are from World of Tanks. They have nothing to do with the Ukraine war. All we're doing is we're sending all of the proceeds from this channel to the Red Cross Ukraine appeals so that we can help the refugees. It's the least that we can do under the circumstances. So the more of our videos you watch, the more money we can send to the victims of the war and help them out. Thanks for watching.